I said this last episode, and I'm going to repeat it. They are having the time of their lives in doing the funniest and best shit they've done in this last season.
Yep.
This is almost cruel that every episode they've done has been bordering on an 11 out of 10.
It's never not going to bother me that a show that is supposed to have infinite story opportunities is ending this season. Kind of even defeating the purpose of the very premise.
Yeah. No, I don't know if this is just me huffing some hard hopium here. But I hope that this does good enough to where eventually they're like, after a while, they may not do it every year.
Maybe once in a while I have like a Marvel special presentation.
Yeah, or like every 3 years they do a what if or some, I don't know, but these are, I don't know if he was just happy to voice act or if they had his family held hostage. David Harbour was voice acting like the rent was due.
Are you watching Creature Commandos?
Not at the moment yet, no.
Because he voices Eric Frankenstein, or Frankenstein's monster, and he is hysterical. So of course I was looking forward to hearing more of him in What If.
All the anti-capitalists screaming at that person at that burger joint. Sir, all I asked was if you wanted fries with that. Oh,
good.
God, that was so fucking funny. I also got to I have to make sure this is right because I thought it was. I thought it was very funny that they made, like, Red Guardian's supposed to be, in the MCU at least, the most Russian person you can meet possible. The fact that they even had him playing Tetris in the airport while he's waiting.
That was good.
What else can we do? He's like, these were great fries. They must have been made with Russian potatoes. This is a fine automobile. The credit goes to the union workers who put this through.
He's like a walking Russian stereotype. But
He is, but they want him to be nothing else. And, like, the weird part is, this whole thing is supposed to be what if the Red Guardian stopped the Winter Soldier, and that has bordering on nothing to do with this entire plot.
I wouldn't say nothing. It's just the inciting incident that causes everything else to happen.
But it's like, what if he still killed him, and he still went on a mission afterwards, and he found him, and they became friends? Like, how they're presenting this friendship, it doesn't seem like they're only friends because he stopped him from killing the Starks.
No, they're friends because Red Guardian is just oozing with charisma, and also Sebastian Stan.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at, where it's like, you could have just been like, what if the Red Guardian and Winter Soldier were BFFs? That's all that this was.
Although do you recognize who the Rook was when they get to Las Vegas?
Yeah, that was Obadiah. A very, very young Obadiah, which people I saw bitching when this came up because I got spoiled again on certain things where they're like, Tony shouldn't be in the Avengers circle because his parents didn't get killed, so he'd still be a smart inventor. Mm-hmm. Who says he wouldn't want to be a hero if he had a dad around that cared?
No, if anything, that would inspire him to be a better hero.
Exactly. You think he'd be a worse off person who wouldn't want to be a hero if his parents were there? What crack pipe do you people huff to try and insinuate and find things to complain about literally anything?
Heck, what if after a near-death experience, Howard Stark becomes a better father?
Exactly.
Because he's more appreciative of the life that he has.
Yes, and he goes, hey, we need to come up with some measures to make sure this doesn't possibly happen to other people. Ergo, his son created Iron Man!
Like, guys, think beyond think beyond what you already know.
Further than right here. 3 inches in front of your face. Me and him came up with that in 20 seconds. And it took less than no thought process. Literally none. All it took was common sense. I know, common sense is not all that common. And people are brain rotted to the core. I can't tell you guys what, but in our group chat for the podcast, we were sending around some stuff with some absolutely mental people that just can't give up on things. And, okay. I need to ask you a question.
Okay.
So, in these what if episodes, typically, unless a characters in the episodes don't get names unless they mean something.
Okay.
There is a obvious Latina-looking woman who is addressed to Bill Foster as Ranger Morales.
I know what you're thinking.
Was that just for shits and giggles to piss people off, to be like, Rio's in here, but no, she's not? Of all of the names, you picked Morales?
I mean, it's a pretty common-ish.
In Marvel?
I know.
And they didn't have to say her name either. He just said Ranger, and then she goes, Morales, thank you. Making sure you know that I'm saying that my last name's Morales. I was waiting for her to be like, yeah, you know, my son's quite a fan. He really likes Spider-Man. And they just never say his name is Miles.
I know.
Because they've done it already. They mentioned that Miles existed in Spider-Man Homecoming. They didn't say his name, but he said my nephew lives in Harlem.
I think this time it's a bit of a stretch. Because
I know. I'm not saying that it's not, but I'm saying they put it there to make people think it's a stretch.
I'm not blaming Marvel. I'm blaming the audience.
Yeah. I think it was purposely put there to make people go, hey, is that supposed to be Rio? Is that the blah, 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 blah. And it was cool that they're, again, just sticking people in here for interesting points. Like, these episodes are a lot more tightly written than the past seasons.
Yeah, they feel they feel a little bit more, I guess, fully realized. And also something that I don't see a lot of people commenting on is a lot of the like period piece episodes of What If get to use more of like the legacy characters like Bill Foster, and again Howard Stark. Even if he doesn't have a speaking role, he's still in the episode.
And this is going to sound weird, but this is a compliment that I don't know how to explain, but I've never felt it in any of the other What If seasons, and I felt it with every one of these so far. These episodes and how they're being made, and I don't know how they're writing them differently to make me feel this way, but every one of these that I've watched so far feels like it's an episode out of a season of a show that had these characters in it.
I see where you're getting at.
These feel like a well-established worlds that you just got to watch an episode 4 out of a full season that we don't know the rest of what it happens in.
These episodes in particular, and again, I'm not noticing like that big of a difference in the writing. Like this episode especially is written by AC Bradley, and she's been involved in every single season since the beginning. Mm-hmm. So I guess they're just feeling a bit more confident in the material, and these aren't just retreads of the movies, but like they take one left turn. These are like entire new scenarios.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's nice. It's refreshing. And they're not going to have this characterisms to each other and this relationship in it, but it gets me excited for Thunderbolts.
Yeah. I saw a Complete Unknown this afternoon, and they showed the trailer for the most recent trailer for Thunderbolts. I'm getting like seriously excited for it now.
As am I. I'm going to. What time is this? What period is this supposed to be again?
Thunderbolts, or this episode. This
episode.
This takes place the year in like the 90s. The like 91, the year when Bucky killed Tony's parents.
So how do I want to say this? If I'm remembering Black Widow correctly, Red Guardian was bearded and a bigger guy when Natasha and Yelena were young, which would have been around 90s. And he's that way currently also, just a little bit bigger. Do you think it was purposely a choice to try and make him look exactly like Cap, that they slimmed him down and took the beard off?
I think so.
Yeah. So I noticed right away, I'm like, he is a lot slimmer than what even David Harbour, when he's slimmer, looks like.
Yep.
But not that it's a bad thing. That was a choice. But yeah, I'm really liking all of these. I hope that it comes to a reconsideration later, that they do more seasons of this, because now I'm okay with them doing stuff like X-Men 97, because I'm not going to complain about more. I guess it'll be X-Men 98 next time, but or whatever they call it, or if it ends up getting a continuation of the old Spider-Man cartoon. But I just don't want this to act like it never existed and they totally forget about it, because you get really good stuff out of it.
Yeah. I have to see how the numbers are for this season, and also how Marvel Zombies does. Because if that and also Eyes of Wakanda do like really well, then we'll probably start to see more Marvel animation projects.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's for sure. Alrighty, Mike, where can everybody find you?
You guys can find me on various social media sites at Captain K42. You can check out my quick thoughts on letterboxd.com/CoachK42. And you can follow Renegade Pop Culture on Facebook and Blue Sky at Ren Pop Culture. You can also find us on YouTube, on Podchaser. Consider supporting our Patreon at patreon.com/Renegade Pop Culture. Listen to all of our podcasts on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen. And last but not least, everything can be found at renegadepopculture.com. You need escape, so do we.
Absolutely. You can find me ever at Organoid Zero, mainly on Twitch and YouTube. And unless you're a cosplayer who is into conventions and such, you can also check out my Instagram at Organoid Zero. Until next time, we will see you all later.